Herzlich willkommen zur dritten Episode von CSI für die Xbox 360. Wir sind gerade dabei, das Asbest von der Decke zu untersuchen. Ich muss gerade mal überlegen, wie genau das war. Hier haben wir die Fingerabdrücke. Müssen wir in das andere Labor. Dieses, wenn ich mich recht erinnere. Und hier hin, oder? Chemikalien, das sollen wir untersuchen, genau. Beweise, da haben wir den Asbest von der Decke. Analyse. Das haben wir. Das haben wir nicht. Das auch nicht. Dann haben wir die letzten beiden. So. Gleichen.
It's primarily calcium sulfate and asbestos. That explains why the ceiling didn't burn. It also could explain our victim's cancer. Maybe even her motive. She might have tried to get back at the spa while ending her own life at the same time. We should ask Brass to find out if she filed any kind of complaint.
So, jetzt untersuchen wir das Ding aus der Mikrowelle auch noch. So, was haben wir denn hier? Die haben wir. Das haben wir nicht. Das auch nicht. Das hier, ja. Und das hier, genau.
There's quite a bit of carbon from where it burned. But there's also wheat flour, tapioca starch, and sodium carboxymethylcellulose. What I'm not seeing are any animal proteins. You know what? I think this is a vegan pastry of some kind. A muffin from the size of it.
Ein vegetarischer Muffin. Okay. So, dann haben wir hier alles untersucht. Dann gehen wir jetzt in den Verhörraum wieder. Hier war das Verhörzimmer. So, dann machen wir das hier.
I told you, I don't know anything about asbestos or where she might have run into it.
So, jetzt können wir dem diesmal diesen Beweis vor die Nase halten.
The ceiling of the spa is coated with asbestos-laced paint.
Really? I guess I'll have to take your word for it. You really think Portia got cancer from working at the spa? Oh, she never said anything to me about it.
Your cunning score has increased. Cunning increases when you correctly present evidence, either to refute a statement in interrogation or justify a warrant request to Captain Brass.
Okay.
Think back. Did she ever seem unusually angry or depressed?
Well, we weren't exactly close, but I got the feeling she was in a troubled relationship. Little things here and there, really.
Such as?
One Friday, I asked her if she had any fun plans for the weekend. Not really, she said. Just hanging out with the boyfriend. She said it like it was a root canal or something.
Okay.
It wasn't just that. I think he hit her.
Why do you think that he hit her?
Well, Portia always seemed to like showing off her body. I even had to ask her once to wear more than just her bikini to work. But one week, a while back, I can't remember exactly when, she wore long-sleeve shirts every day, and she seemed depressed. When I asked her about it, she gave me some lame excuse about needing to do laundry. But when she thought I wasn't looking, I saw her rub her arm and wince. Well, Portia was a very private person. I know almost nothing about her boyfriend, except what I was able to infer.
Was the spa making money?
Sure. I mean, it can always get better, right? But it was profitable.
Is there anyone you can think of who might have had a reason to start the fire at the spa?
No. I mean, who blows up a spa?
She's not in the phone book. I looked.
Oh yes, I know where she lived. Let me write it down for you. I never got the chance to visit her. Here you go. So, I hate to ask, but is that everything you need from me right now? I have to come up with something to tell the board about why I let the insurance run out. And I can't really focus on that while I'm here.
I think we have what we need for now. You'll be at the barber shop if we need you?
I may have some errands to run, but I will be there for some time today, for sure.
Okay, das war unser erstes Verhör, würde ich wohl sagen. Gucken wir uns unser Ziel doch mal an. Fallakte. Haben wir wohl einen neuen Schauplatz? Die Wohnung des Opfers. Dann gehen wir doch da mal hin und gucken uns an, was da abgeht.
Las Vegas Crime Lab, drop the weapon now!
Was geht denn da ab?
Driver's license says Brian Reed. You mind telling us why you were in Portia Weissman's apartment, Mr. Reed?
It's my girlfriend's apartment. Well, ex-girlfriend as of yesterday.
Do you break into all your ex-girlfriend's apartments?
What? No, I didn't break in. I have a key.
Come on, the door was bashed open and you were standing there with a sledgehammer.
The door was busted in when I got there, so I grabbed the tool just in case the guy who broke in was still hanging around. Hey, just call Portia. She's angry with me, but she'll back me up.
Ja, das geht wohl schlecht.
A fire? Oh, God. Is she okay?
Unfortunately, Miss Weissman never made it out of the mud bath.
You mean It can't be!
Mr. Reed, we're sorry for your loss.
A fire.
So were you tying up loose ends after you torched the spa?
What? That's crazy! The only loose ends I was tying up were my toothbrush and an extra pair of underwear. And now you tell me she's gone and you're acting like I had something to do with it?
Mr. Reed, Brian, we have no evidence implicating you right now. And we know it must be a shock to hear about Portia. We need your help to figure out what happened to her. I hope you can understand why we want to know the reason you were standing there with that thing.
Sure, yeah, I can see how it looks. But really, it's just like I told you. I stopped by to pick up my stuff, yeah, including the hammer, and the door was broken open. I grabbed the tool for protection on the way inside. It was just inside the door. I wasn't there for more than a minute before you two showed up.
You mentioned that as of yesterday, you and Portia were no longer together. Was this a mutual decision? Or did Portia break up with you?
No, I broke it off with her. Her drug problem was getting in the way. Weed. She knew I couldn't. She knew I had a problem with it, but she kept putting it in my face. But maybe she'd still be alive. Oh, God.
Mhm.
Did you hit her?
Hit her? No, absolutely not. I would never hurt her.
Come on, Brian, I get it. She got a little out of line, right? So you had to shake a little sense into her.
It wasn't like that. She just, you know, liked it a little rough sometimes. Look, it's not really my kind of thing, but she made it worth my while.
Cancer patients are sometimes prescribed medicinal marijuana to help them cope with the side effects of treatment.
Cancer? Well, that may have started a habit, but her cancer's been in remission for years.
Ja gut, also weiß zumindest davon nix.
The autopsy found mesothelioma in the lining of her heart. She didn't have long.
But she never told... I didn't know. She never told me.
Can anyone verify your location between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m.?
I don't think so, no. I was at home hanging out with my buddy Jack for most of the night. But by then, Jack was gone, and I was pretty much passed out on my couch.
Can your buddy Jack confirm your story?
Well, I try not to ask the bottle too many questions. People look at me funny.
What do you do for a living, Brian?
Living? I'm kind of between jobs right now. I'm looking for something in construction, but I'm not having a lot of luck. I do have a couple of leads, though, so ask me in a week, maybe.
We might have some more questions for you soon. Would you mind waiting?
I might as well. You probably won't get much out of me once I have a chance to start drinking.
Jim, could you do a background check on Brian Reed?
I called it in on the way over. I'll let you know what turns up.
Let's head back to Portia Weissman's apartment. Maybe there's some evidence there that can link the break-in
Alles
to the
klar.
fire.
Dann werden wir das dann mal tun. Das ist schon mal ein Fußabdruck, würde ich sagen.
We have to document and collect that shoe impression without destroying it. A photograph should be enough.
Okay, dann machen wir halt nur ein Foto und keinen Abdruck.
We need to find a shoe that matches this impression. It's made out of some kind of dirt. We should get a sample.
Ah. Nehmen wir auch noch eine Probe.
We have to document and collect that shoe impression without destroying it. A photograph should be enough. If we can link the shoe impression to someone, then this dirt might tell us where he's been.
So, gucken wir uns hier noch mal ein bisschen mehr um. Das sieht nicht so aus, als wenn hier sonst noch was vor der Tür wäre. Eventuell, na gut, da können wir nichts. Ja genau, da wollte ich auch hin. Gucken nach den Einbruchspuren. Machen wir einen Abdruck von.
Some of the marks here are thin and straight, but some are circular, just like the holes in the drywall at the spa.
Sonst ist hier wohl nix. So, was wir hier so haben. Unten haben wir doch irgendwas.
Storing something in the broiler pan. Guess it's a little late to warn Portia about the fire hazard. Dates and dollar amounts. It looks like a record of the spa's finances.
Alles klar. Gucken wir mal, ob ich noch mehr finden kann. So, sieht aber irgendwie gerade nicht genau aus. Haben wir halt diesen Hammer noch im Boden, das vorher irgendwie angeblich eine Axt war.
This isn't just a hammer. It looks like something off a fire truck.
Hey, I read a background on Brian Reed. Turns out that up until last week, he was a captain with the Las Vegas Fire Department. His battalion chief told me Reed had a mixed service record, multiple commendations for bravery, but the guy was also on probation for insubordination. Well, when Reed failed a random drug test last week for the use of cannabis, they fired him.
This reminds me. The notorious serial arsonist John Leonard Orr was both a fire captain and an arson investigator.
Okay. Was haben wir hier?
A black hair pulled out at the root. Portia was a blonde, and Brian Reed has red hair. Someone else was here.
Alles klar.
Right now, Brian Reed seems like our best suspect. We should bring him in for more questioning.
Ja, mehr ist sie wahrscheinlich gar nicht. Gucken wir mal, ob das abgehakt ist, der Schauplatz. Okay, er ist abgehakt. Gehen wir erstmal wieder ins Hörzimmer.
Mr. Reed, or should I call you Captain Reed?
Not anymore. I'm no longer with the Las Vegas Fire Department.
I bet you've seen a lot of buildings burn, and I bet you know a lot of ways to light them up.
You know something, buddy? You are way the hell out of line. I devoted my life to jumping into the flames and saving people. And I lost friends in those buildings I've seen burn. So for you to sit there and insinuate that I may be an arsonist is the most offensive thing anyone has ever said to me. And Portia? You think I set Portia on fire? I mean, I don't know what kind of animals you people have to deal with, but that's not me.
Being a firefighter was obviously very important to you. So it must have hurt to lose that.
Yeah, well, they were just looking for an excuse. I was actually trying to keep my head down.
You were on probation.
There was a tenement fire in the Alphabets. Battalion chief thought the place was coming down. Ordered me not to go back in. You'd think I might earn a little slack for telling the boss to piss off, but let me save a room full of kids. And again, if I'd stopped at piss off, maybe I would've.
Oh man.
Wasn't Portia the one with the drug problem?
Yeah, it was her problem, and she's the reason I got fired. Portia made pot brownies. Now, she says she didn't dose me intentionally, but she did leave the damn things right where I would find them, and she didn't tell me what they were. I ate 3 of them. I could barely get out of bed for like a day and a half. I don't know how anyone can stand that stuff. And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, Happy Monday! Go pee in a cup! I dumped her because she got me fired from a job I loved.
It's a firefighting tool, isn't it?
It's called a Denver tool. Firefighters use it for getting into and out of places.
Places like apartments?
Only if they're on fire.
We think you used your Denver tool to break Portia's door in.
I told you I got a key. Look, take it if you need it. Yeah, so some idiot chopped up the door. So what?
Your cunning score has decreased. Cunning is penalized whenever you incorrectly
Okay, dann haben wir wohl das Falsche hingegeben. Müssen wir das zuerst untersuchen, schätze ich mal. Dann machen wir das doch mal. Ab ins Labor. So, gucken wir mal, ob das hier ist. Ne, das ist es hier nicht. So anders soll es sein. So. So, das will ich mit dem Hammer vergleichen.
Brian Reed's Denver tool is a match to the markings on Portia Weissman's door.
Okay, das ist das dann wohl nicht.
The axe head matches the thin slashes, and the hammer side matches the bigger holes. This tool, or one very similar to it, was used to ventilate the drywall at the spa.
Okay, das haben wir dann wohl rausgefunden. So, was können wir denn jetzt hier noch machen? Können wir aktuell nichts mit anfangen. Ist die Frage, ob das schon gereicht hat. Gehen wir doch mal wieder ins Verhör-Ding.
I told you, I got a key.
Sagen wir das jetzt nochmal, nachdem es untersucht wurde.
You see those marks? They line up perfectly with your Denver tool.
Mine or anybody else's. Even if it was a Denver tool, no firefighter did that. If I really wanted to bring that door down, I'd pry the hinges off. The last thing I'd do is hack at it like a maniac.
Ah ja.
The fire was set by someone with the knowledge to burn that building to the ground.
I don't care what you say. I would never start a fire.
The drywall at the spa was ventilated with a Denver tool.
Well, it wasn't my Denver tool. Anybody can buy one on the internet. Even Portia had one.
Why did Portia have a Denver tool?
She took mine. She wanted it for protection. Said it creeped her out to be alone in that place all day.
By that place, do you mean the spa?
Yeah, she had hers at the spa.
You know something? You're right. There are a lot of other Denver tools floating around out there. But in this case, I really only think there's one I need to worry about. And it belongs to you. You followed Portia to the spa, and when she was nice and relaxed in her mud bath, you torched the place. And then you went back to her apartment to get your things, and a few of her things too. And then you tried to disappear. I bet you figured, hey, if it looks like a break-in, then no one will suspect the boyfriend who's already got a key to the place. And that might have worked for you too. But you forgot to light a fire under yourself. You were still standing right there when we rolled up.
Captain, I respect the police. I really do. I know what it's like to go out there every day and put it all on the line. And I know you're just doing your job. But if you can look me straight in the eye and really hear what I'm saying to you, and yet still believe that I could do this to Portia, then I feel very, very sorry for you, because you're not qualified to carry that badge. Now, are you really gonna arrest me, or what?
No, we're not going to arrest you, Brian. But we'd appreciate if you could hold tight here for a while.
All right, I will. For now. And like I said, I'm happy to answer your questions, but no more finger pointing, or I'm done.
We understand. Thank you. You said that Portia spent hours alone at the spa. How often did she do that?
Just about every day. You know, there were times I started to believe that place might be some sort of front.
A front?
Yeah, you know, for money laundering. Portia was convinced, and she was keeping her own records. She told me that place wasn't making a dime.
Did anyone else know Portia was keeping financial records?
I think she might have mentioned it to a boss, which seemed like the wrong guy to talk to about it, but she trusted him. At least she did. But after she talked to him, she got all paranoid. Ended up hiding all the papers in the broiler drawer. I thought she was just high. Hey, you guys looking at him for this?
Es kann gut sein, dass er erstmal wieder auf dieses komische Haar da
I'll be waiting.
Gehen wir mal wieder da rein.
Hi. Sorry, I was shaving. Cut myself. What can I do for you?
Portia Weissman owned a firefighting tool. She kept it at the spa for security. Have you seen it?
No. She had some kind of weapon at the spa? Well, that's totally against company policy.
We'll be back.
Looking forward to it.
Holen wir uns mal die DNA von der Kerle.
Good catch. That should contain a workable sample of his DNA.
Ab ins Labor. Ich glaube, ich bin hier falsch. So, müssen wir wieder hier hin. DNA. Gucken wir erstmal so eine Analyse. Keine Treffer.
You now have 2 samples of DNA ready for comparison. One sample is unidentified, and one is from a known subject. To confirm a match, you need to drag segments of colored blocks from the unidentified sample to the corresponding colored blocks in the known sample. If all the colored blocks from the unidentified sample fit into the known sample, you have a match. You can get a higher skill rating if you don't misplace any blocks.
Oh, das ist gar nicht so einfach. Das passt aber nicht wirklich zusammen. Ach du Kacke. Das geht auch. Jetzt muss ich mir das doch mal genauer angucken. Das passt nicht. Das passt auch nicht. Oh Mann. Ich denke, das wird einfach überhaupt nicht passen. So, wir wollten aber das Haar nochmal analysieren. Wir haben keinen Treffer, okay. Noch eine Chemikalie, die wir untersuchen können. Die Schuhprobe können wir noch untersuchen. Gucken wir mal, was wir haben.
It's largely made up of feldspar, clinopyroxene, and acetone. The minerals are found in volcanic ash, which is what they used to make the mud for the baths. And acetone was the accelerant used at the spa.
Derjenige, auf dem der Schuhabdruck gehört, der war wohl auch der Täter. So, gucken wir mal, was wir noch an Beweisen jetzt haben.
Pete Baja's DNA, ready for processing.
Deswegen konnten wir da noch nichts machen, weil wir das erst noch untersuchen mussten.
What makes you think there would be latent fluids
Keine Ahnung, ich
there?
wusste nicht, was da sonst sein soll. Fingerabdrücke können wir weg. Aha.
It was nice of Mr. Baja to give us his fingerprint like that.
Ah, okay, ich denke, wir kommen da doch ein gutes Stück voran jetzt gerade. Dann gucken wir uns den Schuhabdruck dann nochmal genauer an. Gut, auf der Rückseite von meinem Bild wohl kaum was sein. Da ist auch nichts drauf. Da haben wir auch nichts, okay. Dann können wir jetzt mal weitermachen. So, jetzt müssen wir das irgendwie gematcht bekommen. Weil ich mir doch ziemlich sicher bin, dass das Richtige ist. Sieht doch gut aus. Also den Täter vom Haar haben wir schon mal
Baja was in
gefunden.
Portia Weissman's apartment, even though he told us he'd never been there.
How's the arson case? Is your decorated fireman still the prime suspect?
I'm not so sure now. He's got an answer for everything. And what I thought was the best evidence we had against him, his firefighting tool, well, it doesn't actually provide us with anything conclusive. On top of that, the spa's owner, Pete Baja, lied to us about never visiting the victim's apartment.
All right. Well, talk to Brass. See if he can help you take a closer look at this, Mr. Baja.
All right. You're down here already. I was just gonna call you. This is Special Agent Gene Huntby of the FBI. It seems your case may be crossing into his jurisdiction. Agent Huntby, why don't I let you explain the situation to them?
Thank you, Captain Brass. It's my understanding your prime suspect in the arson fire at the Super La Spa is Pedro Baja. Is my information correct?
We're looking at him for the arson and a homicide. A young woman by the name of Portia Weissman died in the fire.
Is that right? Well, let me explain why I'm here. Are you familiar with Lorena de la Colmena? Unfortunately, as a member of law enforcement, you should be. In Spanish, it means the Queen of the Hive, and it's the alias for a woman named Beatriz Salazar, now the most dangerous drug lord in Mexico. We believe Pedro Baja was in her employ.
Okay. So is this the part where you tell us to back off, Mr. Baja, and let you do your job?
No, Ms. Seidel, not at all. I want you to get your man. I want you to get him so bad he'll have no choice but to cut a deal. You see, in the entire universe of La Reina de la Colmena's drug trafficking operation, Baja's just a satellite, a small-time money launderer through those little shops of his. But for some reason, we have him on wiretaps in direct communication with Salazar. The taps themselves are useless because Baja and Salazar communicate in code, referring to things like family, weather, whatever. But why she's talking to him directly instead of through an intermediary, I have no idea. But it's that direct connection that means, if we can bring down Baja, then we have our best shot yet at taking down the Queen of the Hive herself.
Agent Hunpy has requested the opportunity to keep tabs on us for a while, and run this one as a joint jurisdiction.
You do your thing, I'll do mine.
Ja. Alles klar. Habe ich nichts dagegen. Allerdings beenden wir an dieser Stelle die dritte Episode von CSI. Ja, danke mir fürs Zusehen und hoffe, ihr seid bei der vierten Episode auch wieder dabei. Und ich sage dann mal ciao, ciao, bis zum nächsten Mal.